more mozzies. These ones slammed the floor with such power it made the whole room shake. With all the mozzies dead, Reggie wondered where they kept coming from. Was there no place the grubs would not infest? Even the sewers were overrun. Any more of them in the kingdom would stink like the Froglands. The young ranger warned the king what he was about to walk into. Grubs like these were not to be underestimated. The grubs were gone, and the stench was contained. Now the smithy was so finely rebuilt, his brother could maybe do something with all those blueprints Reggie had collected. Now the chef had a new kitchen. He promised to finally feed Reggie like a king. No more stale cheese. The village shopkeepers might have the bread, milk, and mushrooms he wanted, if some rat would kindly fetch them. Reggie remembered a time when kings sent their subjects on errands, and not the other way around. If the king wanted milk, he'd have to go to the source, the farm. A cow grub, the farmer's pride and joy. Not pretty, but it had quality milk. Now the chef had his bread, mushrooms, and milk. Reggie hoped the food would improve as promised. A juicy mushroom burger. Reggie felt healthier already. The smith's blueprints were destroyed by the frogs. The only other copy is the original Blueprints of Smithing, buried with their great-grandfather in the forbidden crypts. He went to open it with his key, but he heard something in there, almost like singing. Reggie thinks the smith has listened to too many old rat tales. The way was gone, lost to this labyrinthine, treacherous ruin. There had to be another way out. A noise. But what could be down here now but shadows and bone dust? This was why the smith heard singing. The bard was here. The iron pipe looked like it had been broken recently. Toxic smoke billowed from it. The king couldn't enter. Undead. How long had they just been sitting on this evil infestation? Had his father known? first it was some strange clan of white rats, but no. They had been his own clan. When they had lived. The bard locked himself in the crypts when the frogs attacked, but if he'd hoped for safety, he hadn't found it. But the bard had found the old library and seen a book of blueprints there. He also thinks he's found a way out. The book wasn't just buried. The whole grand library was abandoned. Frogs ended up buried in this revered place. More of his father's secrets. But for now, he had found the book. The other mysteries would have to wait. Reggie wished King Rattus were with him, to explain these creatures being here. And, if he were being honest, because he missed his father's reassuring presence. The bard had found a little courage, and even better, he'd found a key. Finally, a way out of these hellish halls. This room was strangely well preserved. The lack of rubble showed how bare it was, like something was missing. Another statue? There must be a better place for it. This cheese was unusually pungent, but perhaps Chef would be able to use this in his recipes. In tiny amounts. The distant smells of fresh whole-bug bread led them home. The bard swore to write a heroic song of the pair's quest. Reggie didn't tell his brother of the undead yet. They still had living enemies to fight, weapons to forge, and a book full of blueprints thought to be lost. Stories could wait. Though the kitchen and smithy were restored and improved, Reggie looked at his broken, gore-smeared throne room. No self-respecting king could rule from here. The costs, as usual, never went down. The Mozzie King. Smaller than his female counterpart, but just as ferocious. The buzzing, then the stench of rotten meat. The Mozzie King had come for him. He wasn't the only king with a sting in his tail. With the king dead, hopefully the waves of mozzie infestations would slow down. Her offspring were all dead, and the mother had come to get her revenge. The Mozzie Queen, foul mother of the swarm, will never stop what she the mother dead, that should be the last of them. For now. What was this strange creature? Everything about it unsettled him. He must be cautious. Was dead, But Reggie was no less unsettled. He had a sense it was not yet fully grown. He hoped this was the last of these he'd see. Now he had a throne room to be proud of. Not like his father's, but he was his own king, doing things differently. Not hiding zombies in the crypt, for example. The kingdom was restored, but Reggie could not enjoy peace until he knew it was free of threats. It was only restored above. Miners had sighted frogs below. Some were no longer willing to work. His squire thought it might have more to do with a strange rumbling. They say a monster prowls beneath.